All right. Well, thank you everyone for attending. Can you all see my screen, my grow and give back screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Always, you're never sure, right, if you're sharing the right screen and the little thing's not around it, so I didn't know. So thank you for that. So we're just going to take probably about 20-30 minutes here, and I'm going to go through some of the opportunities to get involved with CFMA that are currently open. As we go through these opportunities, you may see things that, if you're familiar with some of our committees or some of the things we do, you may think of something that's not here in this presentation. We're going over kind of the things that are open right now, where you can get involved right now. So if there's something that you are thinking of that's not here, email me afterwards, and I can let you know maybe when an opportunity that might come up, or we can add you to a list to get involved there. But we're going to go through the current opportunities that are available at CFMA. Just so you all know, I am going to, when we're done, send you all the presentation. And then there'll be like a follow-up that'll be on the last slide, but I will send you all this presentation. So there's lots and lots of information that we're going to go through. So I will send this to you. Again, all this is also on our website, but I just wanted to preface it with a lot of information. So let's kick off. So first of all, why volunteer, right? Why would you all have day jobs, you all have other things going on. Why volunteer? So when I was researching for this presentation, I kind of Googled that and came across a couple of different answers to that. So this is one of those where volunteering can help reinforce the skills you're already learning, develop new skills and possibilities, and it gives you another venue to build leadership skills. So for some of the CFMA opportunities, things like a committee, you might get onto a CFMA committee and then lead a task force or a subcommittee, so it helps build leadership skills. You might want to present a webinar, helps build presentation skills. So there's lots of skills that can really be gained through volunteering. So this was another one. Again, as I did my search, this was a second one, also some similar information. It helps you practice important skills. Again, if you're thinking you might want to get more involved in maybe in writing an article, it will help you practice those skills, learn things about teamwork, communication, problem solving, project planning, task management, organization, all of those great things. Again, being part of a committee shows that you're team oriented. And have you ever heard the expression, if you want to get something done, ask a busy person? So I feel like often the folks who volunteer kind of have lots of other things going on, lots of other great experiences that you can also bring to volunteering. Not going to read this quote. You can all read this. This is from the CEO of actually our former past national chair, Pam Hepburn. She was chair a few years ago. This is from her CEO, just about the value at her company, the value that they place on involvement in organizations like CFMA and all that can be gained. So great to have a company here that supports that involvement. And this one, again, also not going to read this one. This is from Jason Keene. He's a longtime CFMA member, was involved in actually a former chapter. He's been on our executive committee, been a part of many committees. He's been a presenter, I believe, at our annual conference, at some regional conferences. So just from here, again, a little quote from him on why volunteering has been so great for him and all it has meant to him. So before we get started, again, I'm going to give you a big list of things to think about when you're getting, thinking about volunteering. What are you passionate about? As we go through this slideshow, I'm going to talk very briefly about kind of all of the open opportunities. If there's something that you're going, when you hear it, you kind of think, yeah, I'd love to do that. That's the one you should do. Often traveling around, people will ask me, say that they want to volunteer. Like, well, where do you need people? And I would say, well, what is it you're passionate about? Because, I don't want to get a volunteer in a spot just to get them in a spot. We want to get you somewhere that in a spot that you're passionate about. So as we go through this, think about, what are you passionate about? What skills you hope to gain? Again, I mentioned a few examples, whether it be speaking, running a committee, writing. What is the skill you're looking to gain? A lot of our opportunities can really help you build some skills. So what is it that you're hoping to get out of that? What do you enjoy doing? That old adage about, if you enjoy what you're doing, you never work a day in your life. Same goes for volunteering. You want to make sure you enjoy this and enjoy what you're doing. So look for something that you think might be enjoyable. Also, what are you good at? Sometimes, you can bring a skill that the committee or the group really needs. Maybe there's some skill that you have that so as we go through our various opportunities, kind of think in terms of these as you think about what you want to get involved with. Again, your passion, skills you hope to gain, what do you enjoy doing, and what are you good at? So if you kind of keep those in mind as we go through this presentation, you'll see what jumps out at you. All right, so here is all of the areas we're going to cover. So this is, you see, there's lots and lots of open areas for you to get involved with CFMA. We will talk very briefly about each of these at the end. Like I said, I will share this presentation with everyone, so you'll have all this information. And then at the end, on the last slide of the slide before the last, there is a way to let us know what you're interested in. So we're going to go through all of these. Again, any questions, feel free to type them in the chat, but I might not get to those till the end. Or if you have a question on something, feel free to unmute yourself and ask. So let's get started on CFMA committees. So again, like I said, these again are all of the opportunities that have a current opening. There are some committees that are not on here. There are some other opportunities that are not here, but this is kind of all of the currently open areas. So we're going to start with the Chapter Resource Committee. This committee meets 1 hour a month. This committee does have a bit of a restriction. It's open to current folks who are a current chapter officer or a past chapter president who's still on the board of their chapter. So we need that connection to the chapter for the Chapter Resource Committee. And this committee works on developing tools and resources for chapters. And
I was looking, it looks like it's not, I saw.
So if that's something you're interested in and meet the criteria for, that would be the committee for you. Next up is our Financial Survey and Benchmarker Committee. This committee meets an hour a quarter plus additional meetings as needed. This committee is open to any general members with an understanding of the importance of benchmarking, as well as some knowledge of CFMA's financial benchmarker tools and product. So if that's something that interests you, that might be the committee for you. Our Heavy Highway Committee. So this is open to members working in the heavy highway community, and it can be a general member who works at a company that specializes in heavy highway, or if you're an associate member and you specialize in heavy highway firms, that could also be for you. So this committee works on developing content and resources for that industry segment, primarily content for the Content Hub, the Heavy Highway Content Hub, as well as some conference sessions. So that's primarily what that committee works on, again, for folks in that heavy highway segment. Next up is our Membership Committee. The Membership Committee meets 1 hour a month. This committee is open to all CFMA members. This committee focuses on reviewing membership offerings. They take a look at new affinity partners, take a look at things that affect, our overall membership. So if that's something that is of interest, this might be the committee for you. Our residential contractor subcommittee. This is currently a subcommittee of the Membership Committee. It may at some point spin off and become a regular full-fledged committee, but this is a subcommittee of the Membership Committee, and they are looking for folks as well. They also meet 1 hour a month. This is open to any members working with or for a residential contractor. So again, if you're a general member who works either for a residential contractor or primarily in residential, or if you are an associate member who works with a lot of residential contractors, this would be a good committee for you. Here too, much like Heavy Highway, which is a different segment, this committee works on developing content and resources for the residential segment. Next up is our Suicide Prevention Committee. This committee meets 1 hour a month. This is open to anyone who has a passion for suicide prevention, to support suicide prevention efforts. There's also positions for chapter champions at the chapter level. So if you are not sure if your chapter has a chapter champion, or if you'd like to get involved as a suicide prevention chapter champion, there's opportunities there as well. Those might be actually a little bit outside the committee, but that's also part of the suicide prevention work as well. Next up is our Publications Advisory Committee. This committee meets 1 hour a quarter, so they only meet quarterly, plus periodic optional article reviews. So this committee, again, is you can see, it's really folks who are passionate about content and building profits. Our members, discuss industry trends, hot topics, and they review articles prior to publication. So they'll give our articles a review. So if that's something you're interested in, and again, this is the first of our committees that meets less frequently. They meet once a quarter. So that might be the one for you. Told you all there'd be a list here. We're not even done with committees yet. I feel like there's so many things here. Next up is our Tax and Legislative Affairs Committee. This committee meets 1 hour quarterly as well, and there's additional calls as necessary. This committee is open to all members, and they develop content and resources specifically related to federal tax and legislative affairs. So if you have a passion there, this might be the committee for you. So now we are moving on from committees. So there's quite a few education task forces and subcommittees here. So we'll take a look through them. First up is the book subcommittee. This group meets 1 to 2 hours per month. And if you're familiar with the book, if you have CIFP or are studying, the book is a big resource guide, a very, 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 very big resource guide with lots of chapters, with 30 chapters. So we need folks to periodically review the book and help update the content there. So we're looking for a few volunteers to help with that. So if that's something you're interested in, there's opportunities there. Next up is our pilot target audience. So this is an hour a module, and this would be review and test a new course. So this is kind of an ad hoc as needed, but a fun way to learn some new information and help craft a CFMA course. Next up is the education webinar subcommittee. This subcommittee meets 1 hour a month. They review webinar proposals, discuss industry hot topics and challenges, and they give some feedback on topics of interest. So if you enjoy CFMA's webinars, they all had to go through the webinar subcommittee for final approval. So you could be part of that committee there. Nano learning. Nano learning is a brand new type of learning. CFMA just got approved for this from NASBA probably within the last month or so. So nano learning is bite-sized pieces of learning. So something that's maybe 10 minutes. So you get, a fraction of a CPE. Most states recognize this. I believe there's 10 that do not. So hopefully you're not in one of those states if this is something you're interested in. But this is to help work with the nano learning group to develop things that, again, could be little bite-sized pieces so that they can be for the smaller CPE credits. They meet 2 to 4 hours per month. It varies again on topic on what you're working for. But again, this one is open for construction financial professionals with accounting expertise. Meet briefly and kind of come up with these little nano learning segments. Next up is a course presenter. So if you are familiar with any of CFMA's courses, risk management, basics of construction accounting, any of those courses, we're always looking for folks to present these courses. They are, these are primarily online. So some can be in a chapter, some chapters put these on. So if you're interested locally, chapters may put them on as well. The time commitment here is 2 to 4 hours per presentation, and then some prep time. And that'll vary by presenter, vary by topic. So hard to estimate how much that will be. But if being a presenter is something you're interested in, we're always looking for folks to help present our content. Our education evaluation and content review group, they meet about 1 to 2 hours a month, and they review course material for updates. So this is updating, any of their educational content. We always need folks, again, to keep an eye on things, keep making updates. So this may be a place where you might want to get involved. We're going to move on now to being an author. So there's a couple options for being an author. So everybody loves their Building Profits magazine. Building Profits authors tend to come from our membership. They're either from our membership or from a member company. So, we're always looking for folks who can be subject matter experts to help write an article. So here, the time commitment varies depending on, how long it takes to write the article, how much, back and forth you have with our editorial staff and that kind of good stuff. But we're always looking for articles on a variety of topics. The average article is 2,500 words. Topics, as you know, usually focus kind of on a theme for each magazine. So if there's something that you have a passion about, something that you feel like you could be a subject matter expert in, send it our way. We may, that may be useful for an upcoming issue. So there's an opportunity there. And then some of our other publications. So time commitment here also varies, specifically around heavy highway, specialty trade, and residential contractors. We're always looking for information to share on our content hub. This information goes in emails. There's even some opportunity here to help develop some content for, a variety of other things. So we're always looking for specialized content. So if you're in one of those segments or work with someone in those segments, there might be an opportunity to be an author here. Sorry, I know there's so much information here. Again, I will send all this to you. Yeah, lots and lots of great things here. I will send this to you. Next up is certification. So again, this is for folks who are taking their CCIFP. First up is the Complaints and Appeals Committee. They meet as needed about 2 to 3 times per year. The ideal person on this committee would be someone who is familiar with the recertification requirements and that are needed to review. Again, this is complaints and appeals if someone's, feels that their what they've submitted isn't, making the cut or something. So dealing with those kind of on an as needed basis. Our item writing task force. This group meets 4 to 6 hours a month with one possible in-person meeting. It has a time frame, so it's not 4 to 6 hours a month for the whole year. It's a shorter period of time. It's a couple of months. The ideal person here would be a subject matter expert in one of the domains of the CCIP exam, so tax, legal, IT, HR specifically, and possibly ability to travel regionally, which there may be reimbursement for that as well, but just regionally. It wouldn't be flying across the country, but it might be if there's, for example, a regional conference near you, where you can get together and help do some item writing. Sometimes there's item writing at regionals. If any of you are going to the Florida regional, I guess that's later this week, isn't it? Later this week, there is a group doing item writing there. So sometimes the groups do meet regionally. So that is a possibility as well. Our CCIP chapter champion subcommittee, much like I mentioned with the suicide prevention chapter champions, there are CCIP chapter champions. So if you're part of a chapter and you're not sure if your chapter has a chapter champion and you're interested, we can get you set up there. This group meets 1 hour a month. They are the ideal candidate here is a CCIP affiliated with the chapter who wants to get involved, wants to share information, bring it from the subcommittee back to your chapter. So again, being a brand ambassador and a promoter, information is again given. It's meant to be a two-way street. So that is what that one's all about. The CCIP Accreditation Committee. This is 1 hour a month. It's 2 hours a month in the first quarter, and then it's an hour a month. This group reviews the accreditation application for the certification. So as you know, our certification is accredited through a third party. So this group will monitor that accreditation and make sure we have everything that we need to keep the CCIP being accredited. Oh, sorry, my computer froze for a second. If you're not sure any of those sound right for you, I always encourage everyone get involved at your chapter. Chapter involvement varies chapter to chapter, so I can't speak so much on exactly what there is at a chapter, but there's a few things that are kind of the same across chapters. Join a committee. Committees vary by chapter. Some chapters have many committees, some have just 1 or 2. This is a great way to get to know your chapter members and make an impact locally. What better way to get to meet everyone than to be part of a committee? What better way to shape your chapter than to be part of a committee that decides what they do? So there's lots of committee opportunities at your chapter. Chapter speaker as well. Many chapters, again, have their members speakers at a variety of their meetings or even a regional conference. So this can really help you be seen as a local subject matter expert. So there's opportunity there. Also at your chapter, be part of the board. If that's something you consider, reach out to some of your board members or your chapter president and ask what to get on the board. If they're looking for board members, great way again to be seen by a leader at your chapter, but be seen as a leader locally and help shape what your chapter does. And a chapter officer, again, show your leadership skills, show your knowledge by being a leader of the local chapter. Typically, your chapter officer kind of has to go on the board, go through a few things. You can't just call your chapter, but hey, I want to be president. So make sure if that's a path you're thinking about, chat with someone on your chapter board to see what the path is there. But I definitely encourage you all, again, get involved nationally if that's where your passion is and what you'd like to do, but get involved locally. There's lots of benefits there as well. So like I said, I know there was a lot of information. I need a drink of water. I've done a lot of talking. this is the link. Again, I will send this presentation to you. So we will send you this. You'll have this is the link to, if you're interested in getting involved at all, you can pick the opportunities. The process is they'll come back here to CFMA headquarters, and probably next week, someone will start going through those, and we'll see, if you're interested in, say, a couple of committees or a couple of different things, kind of see where the greatest need is and where you can fit in, and we can get you involved. There's my contact information, Kathy Wassner. Mary Kalzinski also works with our volunteer management. She is off this week, so she's not here to join us, but either of us can answer any questions that you have as, when you get this presentation. So with that, I will open it. Does anyone have any specific questions for me? Again, I know there was tons and tons and tons of information.
It's a great presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. Well, like I said, there's something in the chat. So Maureen asked how you contact your local chapter. So that is a good question. Hopefully when you joined, hopefully someone from your chapter did reach out. It sounds like they did not. So email me. That's a bummer, Maureen. Email me. My email's on the screen, and I'll look up your chapter and I will introduce you. But that's a bummer that they did not reach out when you joined. But we will get you connected. If any of you, again, if you don't have a good way to reach your chapter, email me and I will get you connected with someone locally. All right. Any other questions? Well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for being a member of CFMA, and thank you for your time today. As I said, I will get this presentation emailed to all of you very shortly, either later today or tomorrow. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye, all.
Take care.
Thank you.